Okay, we are live, Paul. If you can hear
good
me.
Afternoon, Victor. I can.
How are you doing out there at beautiful 1427 Walgrove?
It is looking like a good day. Our fantasy football teams are all doing well. Our beloved LA Rams are not doing so well. But
yeah, the Rams weren't looking like they were supposed to today.
No, but it's okay because we had the Lakers do quite well last night. LeBron James, who I've not been a fan of my entire life, he sure was incredible. So it's a good day. It is the beginning of Yom Kippur. For those who are celebrating, I wish you all an easy fast if you choose to fast.
My Presbyterianism will allow me to eat breakfast in between all this. So
there you go. I heard that you've got a sandwich lined up. So
I do have a sandwich lined up, and I'm not sure how many viewers we have at the moment, if any. But if we do, they'll hear us bantering a little bit. Actually, I'm not seeing much going on right now, but we'll take people on a tour. So if anybody wants to come in at any point, feel free to ask questions. Anyone who's coming in, if you're watching this on a replay, this of course will be posted up later for people to be able to see and find out anything. And of course, they can always go to 1427walgrove.com and get all the information with photographs, videos, floor plans, you name it, everything anybody needs to do. And I see, we have at least one person watching at the moment, so that's always exciting. And I think my shirt is flaring on the thing, so I should realize that you can't wear this stripy of a shirt when you're only doing streaming instead of broadcast. So we'll be changing that in between things here.
You're going to write the book on Streaming 101.
Oh gosh, we were streaming video all the way back in 2000, so in the beginning days of doing that. So that's a little different here. So Paul, where are you in the house right now?
I am just walking down into the main family entertainment room. I'm going out to the backyard, and I'm going to open up this gate. This is one of two electric gates that give you a little protection for the entire family. Here we go. So I'm walking back up to the front of the house. That is Walgrove, the infamous Walgrove. And it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Los Angeles. We are just a few miles east of the ocean, of Venice Beach. Morning. Actually, good afternoon. And here we are on the front lawn. It's not real grass.
Which is definitely an advantage in modern times where we don't want to be using up all of the resources of the area.
To notice here.
You're pushing the edge of the property for the Wi-Fi signal. Yeah.
Okay. You'll see that the beginning of this property-long bamboo wall begins right here, and it's really lovely. It gives you a sense of calm and certainly gives you a lot of shade. Oh, there we go. We're closing our gate. Let's open that sucker back up again. There we go. And also a property-long driveway that leads back to an oversized two-car garage. One of the things I like about this driveway is that it's got these permeable pavers. So on the rare days that it does rain here in Los Angeles, all the water actually drains directly into the soil below. So again, another eco-friendly touch. On the property, they have, I think, 4 or 5 rain barrels that capture any moisture from the roof.
You're going behind the scenes there, Paul. Oh, and I think
yes.
I just lost you there for a second there because you're behind the back part of the house. So we're losing
Sure am.
your signal there. So I just popped on the other video for a second so that you can relocate yourself.
Okay.
Because we are around the back where there's no audio signal, but now we go back over here. And I'm going to pop you back on there.
Excellent.
Well, we were up to 6 people, and now we faded away to 0. So I guess they didn't like the barrels as much as we
My
thought.
goodness.
Shocking, and it's such an ideal example of how green this house is.
And here we have a little July 4th on the first day of on Yom Kippur.
Well, that's my birthday, so it's appropriate that you decorate for that.
Excellent. So we're back in the main entertainment room. This is a huge, great room that is an open concept. You can see it opens up into the dining room, formal dining room, and the kitchen beyond. And it has 5.1 speakers, Dolby 5.1, embedded in the walls. Everywhere where you see televisions, and I think they're in at least 4 rooms, we have Ethernet drops for really fast internet and broadcast connections.
And that really is a huge point to make at this right now in the middle of the pandemic, where so many people are looking for live work spaces. Is being able to have a space that not only has a lot of individual rooms that can be used as office spaces if you want to. You've got multiple people working out of the home, but you also have the level of connectivity of the direct feeds that you can do through the internet rather than having to just go Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi signals aren't necessarily as stable. So it's important to be able to have that kind of direct connectivity.
So we're looking at the kitchen. The kitchen of all the rooms in this house is probably the most dated. The sellers purchased this home in 2010. And at the time, it was a 1,500 square foot bungalow here in Mar Vista. And this kitchen was is the original kitchen. They did a little cosmetic updating at that time. So if it were my home, I would probably just modernize this. I don't think it's a big job. I love these beams here, this ceiling. It really is gives you a sense. It's pretty high. I'm assuming it's probably around 10 feet high.
Oh, it's a lot higher than that. The base is probably 10 feet high. So I think you got about 14 up there, maybe 17.
And so let's go back to Victor referenced that there are multiple areas for individual privacy. So we've shown you the main entertainment room and our dining room, which leads into the kitchen. So there is what we call the East Wing. 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, and it just is really well designed. So large laundry room. This is the smaller of the 2 bedrooms. It has been used as an office, a work from home office, but it is a good sized bedroom, probably for a younger child. Again, looking out that window, you get a sense of all that bamboo. It just frames the house really nicely.
It's relaxing to be able to look around outside all the windows on that side and also out in that little backyard Zen garden area. Oop, nice closet.
So, decent sized closet. All the bedrooms have fans, although the house has 4 different climate zones. Also, here's a half bath. Just a powder room. Another fairly good-sized storage closet. Excuse me. And then this room was originally the master bedroom when the sellers originally bought the home in 2010. It is now just a lovely guest suite with full bath. And while you are, this is the front of the house where we were earlier. That is Walgrove. I'll be quiet for a second because I want you to know that there really is very little street noise. In fact, I can't even hear anything. Let's watch a couple cars go by. So it's really quiet. They have Milgard dual pane windows throughout most of the entire house. And again, there's our ever-present bamboo. So
Well,
this
that's
is the
one of the
east
other
wing.
things, Paul, I was going to say too, is that, when they did this rebuild, this was one of the original classic bungalows of the area, and added 2,400 feet onto the home, or something like that. So it's a huge, huge add-on. So when they did this rebuild, they did everything really first class. It's all top quality windows, and that's why you get that nice seal from the sound. You don't really hear the street at all, and because it's a double lot, but it's also a double lot all the way back as opposed to double width on the front. So you actually have all that distance to the back, away from the street as well.
Correct. So that wall break right there, that was the furthest west of the structure, the original structure. Everything from there back is new construction. And this was built, construction began in 2017, was completed in 2018. They got their certificate of occupancy at the end of, in December of 2018. It was built custom for this family, who run a digital advertising agency. So they do all their work from home. And we'll go back later to his home office. But it was built with the idea that you are working from, you want to have your own workspace on your property, but you would prefer to have it in a different location. So you want to get the sense that you're not actually in your home, so that the two, home and family life and work life, really never mix. So should we take a look at this, what we affectionately call the West Wing?
Yes.
Okay, so off of this main entertainment room, this family entertainment room, is a second area of living quarters. So there is a third bedroom.
And that's also an ensuite too. So this is one of 3 ensuites in the house.
Correct.
And if someone wanted to convert that last, the third den area into a fifth bedroom, that one you would if the wall was set in the front position of it, that would actually also be an ensuite. That'd take you up to 4 ensuite bedrooms.
So really well done. And as Victor was referencing, so the seller's use case for this area is pretty interesting. So let's just say it's Super Bowl Sunday and you have 20 families that you're entertaining, and all the adults and maybe some of the older kids are in this room watching their team or their favorite commercials. And then the younger children are in the bedroom where we just were, which also fans out into this extra large entertainment space, family entertainment space, where they can all gather. And Victor was referencing this could be a fifth bedroom if you chose to do that, but it serves this wonderful purpose now as just a secondary space. Kids were being schooled homeschooled here in this room. There was a yoga mat. They were doing their exercising in here. So it was a great multi-purpose room. It's huge and great light. Again, Ethernet drops here, so it's fantastic. And it opens up into one of the two outdoor Trex decks, which is just fantastic.
Also, another fantastic space for people who may need a little bit more space. You have some staff. You're using that as a possible home office as well. It's got a break area, therefore, right outside the door. Just a phenomenal space for that.
All right, let's take a look upstairs, where we find the deluxe suite. Oh, wait! Before we go, there's one area underneath the stairway. This is an area where all your security cameras, Wi-Fi are hooked up. So it's a great, very clean setup here.
And so few homes actually really do such as good a job of home running all of the cabling and wiring. That actually makes a huge difference when you're trying to put a home together. You're trying to solve any issues, problems with connectivity or anything like that. Knowing that you can actually find everything in one spot makes a huge, huge difference to being able to fix anything that ever comes up with that.
So we are now in the deluxe suite. The entire upper floor is dedicated to this area. It's 860 plus square feet, vaulted ceilings, lots of light, natural light. Again, very quiet. It has a gas burning fireplace. Bathroom is down that hallway. It's got a balcony from which you can see the entire property. Great place to start your mornings with a cup of coffee or end your evenings with a glass of wine.
And a perfect place to give a political speech right up there on the balcony as well.
One of the features I really like about this architecture is these windows. Really give a nice design element. And it's carried through in a couple of the other rooms. But lots of light everywhere here. So really large bathroom. Dual sinks. Dual shower heads. Really nice tile work. There's some more of those windows. They're actually repeated here on the over the sinks. Two walk-in closets. This one's a pretty good size. The other one is just massive. And again, lovely light. Great place to for those of you who have shoe collections.
Yeah, it's a serious amount of room for shoes.
And then a fairly unusual feature that I don't find often in residences is dual toilets. We affectionately call them sage and patchouli. For those that are keeping score.
But that is something that, I can't even think. I've seen, some massive, $30 million homes with separate men's and women's or two men's or two women's or whatever, individual bathrooms off of the master suite. But I've never seen one with two separate toilets in a single bathroom. I think that's an amazingly good idea. And I see you're back out in the relaxing backyard.
I certainly am. A little game of bocce later on, Victor.
I'll hop in the car and run right over. It's actually not that bad. And on a Sunday morning, I can, because it is actually such a good location. People don't realize when you hear Walgrove, if you don't know the area, Walgrove kind of leads you right out into, you can be up to the freeway in 6-7 minutes. You can be down in the right in the heart of Venice for all the restaurants in 3 or 4. You're at the beach in 5. It's just a phenomenal location right there. You're right off the edge of Santa Monica, right where basically Santa Monica, Venice, and Mar Vista all meet. So it's a phenomenal location.
So I'm going to try to go up to the home office. You may lose the feed. If so, maybe you can just cut over to the video.
Not a problem.
Okay. So as I referenced, it's a 500 square foot studio office with a half bath. Could certainly be converted into a ADU or a 5th bedroom if you chose to. Here's someone.
Yep, and I just lost you, but we'll come back to you in just a second there. Paul's getting into the home office at the moment, and it takes a few seconds before it shifts from the one router to the other on the mobile phone. But I think I probably have you back there. So let me pop back over to you, Paul, and see if we've got you. Do I have you? No, I've lost you for the moment, but we'll have you again in just a second. In fact, speaking of that home office area, we'll even show you in just a second here on the video that's playing. And the one of the things about this room or about the home itself, the feed just changed. I'm not quite sure why. That's okay. There we go. In the home office space. It's actually, as Paul said, it's 511 square feet up above the garage. It's got wired connectivity. I think I got him again. And the good thing also up there is because it's already plumbed for the half bath. It's very, very easy to convert that space into an ADU. And of course, City of LA, it's that is kind of a big push mandate these days to convert as many spaces as possible. So there you are, Paul. I see you.
Excellent. Yeah, we are here. It's a beautiful room. They're actually going to be doing some recording later this afternoon. That's the whisper room where you can lay down your vocal tracks or your voiceovers if you're doing ads. If you're running a podcast, it'd be a great room to do that. Here's the half bath. In addition of a shower, you could turn that whisper room into a closet, and voila, you have a wonderful ADU or a great room for little Timmy, who's 16 and 17 and wants a little privacy, more privacy than the family compound itself. So there you have the studio office. It makes a great addition. Again, this was built specifically for that purpose in mind. And there you have today's tour of 1427 Walgrove Avenue, Los Angeles, 90066.
And you're going to hit the basketball court in a little bit too, right?
Oh, yeah. Alex Caruso, baby.
Well, you'd be better at that than me because I am sadly one of the most pathetic basketball players ever in the history of the earth. So, and as you're shifting from rooms, I'm going to pop back over to this one. Whoop. Questions. If anyone has, we don't have any questions in right now, but if anyone does have a question, feel free to comment and we'll see it. We're on whatever format you're watching, whether you're watching on Facebook, on either of the streams over there. If you're watching on one of the YouTube streams, we're live. We'll get them and they will pop into us here at the studio. So feel free to ask anything about the home. Paul will be happy to run out if you want to see a specific part of the place and let you see that. And as soon as Paul's, I see, back in making his way back to the other room, so I can always pop it over if he wants to sit down for a moment and relax. That's up to him. Otherwise, we'll stay with the mobile feed because Paul is on the move again. I see you're you're not relaxing. You're going.
Well, a lot of time to relax later tonight. How are your football teams doing, folks, today? My fantasy team is not performing to its utmost.
Oh, dear. I'm not
Shame.
sure.
The shame of it all. Oh, you know what? We did not get to the final room, the record room.
We missed the record room. The record room is awesome.
We've forgotten Billy Preston. Some of you older folks would know what that reference is. So this is the third living space, entertainment space. It's a little more analog than the other two. It feels a little bit darker. Even though it's the front room of the house, there's the front door. In a weird way, it just feels like this is a room that you go to at the end of the day. You bring a glass of wine. It is a wood-burning fireplace. So you put a log on the fire. This family is big into music. We've got a turntable, lots of records. Obviously the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper, little U2. Django Reinhardt, a favorite of mine. We've got Sinatra on the turntable right now. It is just a wonderful room to watch the kids play on the front yard, have a glass of wine, relax, talk about the victories or the disappointments of the day, and prepare yourself for another day of battle tomorrow. And again, it opens up beautifully into the central hub of the house.
And that's where the architecture blend. I mean, when they did the remodel, they actually brought in one of the top local architects who really knew what they were doing in terms of creating space and converting the traditional homes of the area into a more modern home. This space that they expanded here was one of the original well-designed spaces. It had that nice feel in the front, but then once they expanded, the whole place just became multiple great living areas all around. Oh, and you're heading back to the relaxing other big space room in the back there.
Victor, when you're doing a live stream, you might as well get some exercise in.
This is true. Well, I would be happily exercising right now were it not for the fact that my headphone cable is only about 4 feet long. So, and I couldn't push the buttons.
I think my favorite room, I think my two favorite rooms are the record room and this bedroom. This bedroom just gives me a sense of calm.
It is a really relaxing room. You're right. I realized when we were in there the other week, it was the way it's just kind of facing the bamboo outside. It's a nice quiet spot and it's probably the most isolated room in the home. So it's a space you can kind of escape.
Every listing that I've had, I like to bring one of my favorite books. This is one of my childhood books. Maurice Sasek. He did a series of these back in the, I believe it's the 50s. This is New York. This is San Francisco. This is Paris. This is London. And it's a really wonderful way for kids to get a sense of their city, if they live in one of those, or the world.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
You brought a bit of Paul into the house.
I did. Hopefully it's good luck.
Very nice tile and granite work in the bathroom we were just showing a moment. Of course, there's another bath just over here to the right there. And now you're making your... Oops, didn't mean to change your direction on you there. then back to the main room, and you can check the score as you're going by there.
Rams are coming back. Look at that,
Rams are coming
28-25.
Hey, that is a game all of a sudden.
Ram on.
And that's another one of the things that's so nice about this particular home is, you've got that central space where everyone can gather. The kitchen is there, the dining area is there, that large big den with the television with the surround sound all built in. All that's in the space, but then you've got all the other rooms kind of going off into their own private areas. So you still have some privacy whenever you want it. So you have a gathering space, but you also have private spaces.
How's my camera work, Victor?
You glitched for a second there, but you've caught back up. Because you do have a lot of space to cover, so which does mean that they have a good router in that house and for the Wi-Fi signal,
Right.
because
Yeah.
You're moving over a 3,500 more than 3,500 foot space,
Yeah.
3,800 total with between the home and the studio space and all that yard, 8,300 feet of land. So you're moving around a lot.
Okay. Well, why don't I shut it down for a little while and we can show the video, and
We can do that. You can go on back and have a seat for a few moments and
excellent.
relax by the on the other camera, and we'll see if we can just let the other thing play out and we can chat about it a little bit. We do have a few people watching right now on our various feeds. There we go. It's
I'm wondering if our audience has learned anything from the pandemic during the last 7 months about what component of the home is the most important to you. Has it changed since that first week of March? Are certain areas now more desirable, more important, more necessary in your next residence? Love to hear some feedback on that.
Yeah, that's a really good question, I think. And if anybody would like to comment, feel free to comment in a question in whatever field you're on whichever, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. And they should all pop up here and we'll see them to us. But I know I've had issues with that, Paul, because a lot of people, we moved to a house that was rough, not quite as big as the one that you're sitting in right now, but pretty close to that. And we downsized right before the pandemic, and not having all those individual workspaces that we used to have made a big difference. So I would certainly like to pick this place up. Slightly over my price range, but I would still love it.
Absolutely. I have found that over this period of time, the most important area for my wife and I, and our newest addition, the little puppy, home office obviously is essential for me. Since our brokerage, Douglas Elliman brokerage office in Manhattan Beach, has limited hours, the collaborative effort that we used to participate in when we go to the office has kind of been shut down a little bit. So I'm finding that I do most of my work from the house. And we had been living at the 360 South Bay community for 5 years prior to moving to North Redondo Beach, actually the week before the shutdown occurred.
Oh, wow.
And while the 360 has an incredible community amenities, it's got an amazing gym and 2 pools and barbecuing areas and lots of outdoor areas, they're not yours. They're part of the community. And now that we have this little puppy, having a private front yard for him to roam around in and feel, we can feel that it's contained, has been a huge benefit. And I see that most of my clients really are desiring either an enclosed front yard space or a large backyard area where they can let their children roam freely and securely, and have a certain confidence in that.
Well,
And
that's
that's
another one of the
certainly,
things that's so nice about this one too, because you've got both.
absolutely, absolutely. That's what I was going to reference. This has multiple outdoor areas where you can let the family roam wild, so to speak, whether it's in the front or in the back. That property long driveway is incredible. If you're teaching your kids how to ride a bicycle, wonderful area. As we referenced, there is a basketball hoop at the far western portion of the driveway. It's just a great area to let your kids create a little sense of adventure for themselves.
I think a lot of them would be hiding around and wandering around the backside where you were showing before, where all the water reclamation stuff is hidden on the side of the house over by the bamboo.
Yeah,
That'd be a great hiding area when we were kids.
yeah, it's a really interesting space there. You could use it as a dog run for certainly, and I think they do that to a certain extent. Someone who came in the first week that we were open suggests, "Wow, what about a koi pond?" I've never been a huge koi pond person, but yeah, I could see that being a wonderful use over there. It goes hand in hand with that bamboo privacy hedge. I would love to see a water feature there, just to create that more of that ambiance. Just really feeling like it's a Zen garden, really a great place to relax. I could see putting yoga mats on that deck and doing some of your exercising right there in the early morning or in the late afternoon. This house, I must say, when I've been here in the evening, when twilight comes, it just pops and really takes on a different light. I don't know if it's obviously the sunset is beautiful. You get those really beautiful pink and orange skies. The light is really muted, and the air quality is great. So it's a wonderful house in the late afternoon, early evening hours.
Well, that's one of the great things also about that location, being right there. You're only a few blocks away from the ocean, or what, half a mile or something, 3/4 of a mile. Easy into that, and the quality of life, the atmosphere is pretty hard to beat. That and being so close to Venice, there where everything is to do, without being in the heart of it.
Correct. One of the benefits to living on this street, the seller's oldest daughter had been going to Walgrove Elementary. It is a short little over 2.5 blocks from here. So it's a really easy walking commute, so to speak, to school, and then picking up the kids afterwards is quite simple. Mark Twain Middle School is a little bit further down the road. And then the local high school is Venice High, although I've been told you can petition to get into Santa Monica High School as well. So
it's also only a block and a half to a golf course, which is always kind of a cool thing. Nice to know you don't even have to drive. Just pop the clubs over your shoulder and walk on down.
Yeah, if you are a golfer, or if you like to play tennis, or if you like to do Tai Chi, there's Tai Chi classes out there. There's Penmar Golf Course and tennis courts are just 2.5, 3 blocks away as well. This house is uniquely situated on the borders of Mar Vista, Venice, and Santa Monica. Santa Monica is just north of Rose, and we are just south of Rose. And then I believe Venice is actually at the westernmost border of this property, is the property line for Venice. So it is a very unique location.
Yeah, and so easy to get in and out of too. It's one of those spots because you can immediately just pop around Walgrove and then turn to the left there, and you're going right into the middle of Santa Monica. Or if you go down Rose, you can be on Lincoln into the downtown Santa Monica in 5 minutes. Go the other way, you're over to Washington, and you're out to the marina It's just one of those great spots. It's about as centrally located as you could get on on the beach end of the west side.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a concern that some folks have raised is its proximity to Santa Monica Airport. Obviously, you're not in the same category as LAX, but you definitely occasionally will hear a plane overhead. Rarely is it a jet. Usually, they're private, small planes, and there have been rumors for years, but there has been a lot of talk about the airport going away in around 5 years from now.
That has been a long-term goal of the
Yep,
city.
yep. And there's multiple plans on what that space will become. There had been talk at some point that it would be a mixed shopping area, and then there's also been a lot of talk about making it a green park-like setting.
I'd love to see a park at there. See, I got married at the Santa Monica Airport. So Eric and I we actually got married on the observation deck at Typhoon, our old favorite restaurant, which closed, I guess, 3 years ago, and which I missed horribly.
That's fantastic. So, what made you decide on Typhoon and that area as the locale?
We tend to be a little non-traditional, so we thought it would be kind of a fun thing. It was a place that we'd started going to dinners at when we first started dating, and it was kind of our regular hangout. And it was just one day it just hit us. It's like, wait a second, why don't we just get married there? And so they had this great outdoor observation space, and we'd actually watched forced landings and a few other entertaining things there over the years. And so we got married up on the deck and then went downstairs for the reception. It was just nice and relaxed. And unfortunately, as you were saying about the plans to rebuild the area and change things, there was kind of a push a few years ago to get the tenants out so the rebuilding process and change could happen. So that's how they ended up going out, because they lost their lease over that one. But those things happen. It's all good though. But it would have been nice I would be over there every day and hitting happy hour there after showings at this house, if it was still there.
Yeah, that's funny. One of my associates out of the Manhattan Beach office, Benjamin Schick, stores his or houses his plane over there.
Oh, really?
And flies out of Santa Monica Airport. Not sure how often he actually is in the air, but he took us up. I went up there last year with him. It was the first time I'd been in a small plane. And it was fantastic. It's just such a relaxing, wonderful way to see Los Angeles in Southern California.
Well, and you're only 5 minutes over there. If if you're somebody who has a plane, while the long-term plan, they would at the city they say they would like to change it, but we know it's going to be there for at least another probably 4 or 5 years, if not longer, if they don't get a redevelopment plan through. It's nice to be able to just zoom over to your plane right there. I mean, we've been there when Bill Clinton's flown in and other people, and that's where Harrison Ford keeps his planes. And when he had his slight mishap a few years ago, that was actually he went out of the airport and down onto Penmar Golf Course, right by the house.
Yeah, he was doing some Millennium Falcon flying.
I think he was a little better on flying the Falcon than he was on the plane that day. It was cool plane.
Exactly. That's funny. That's funny. So you see this video that we created earlier this month, and when we go up into the studio, you'll see that bank of guitars. Curious to know if anyone is a guitarist that's listening. Are you prone to Les Pauls or to Fender Strats or Telecasters? I've always been a fan of the telly sound, that beautiful tone that it gets. But boy, when I start to think about some of my classic favorite guitarists, that Les Paul is just a monster.
Well, and they play so differently too. I
They
used to
sure
play,
do.
years ago. It's just there's a different feel. In addition to the sound, it's funny. It's one of those strange things that the Les Paul was just, I don't know. It was a little trickier to play in some ways. I felt the Strat was a little easier to play. I don't know
Interesting.
why, but I'm strange, though I usually play 12 strings. So.
Oh, okay. When I was young, I really wanted to be a guitarist, but I had fat fingers and wasn't particularly coordinated, I guess. So I had some friends who were really good guitarists, and so I got relegated to bass. And
Well, bass is very important. You're the one that everyone's got to keep. You got to keep time with the bass player and the drummer. So
it
you know,
is. It's
you
just
can,
very hard to rehearse by yourself.
yeah. Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Well, my guitars ended after I tripped over a 1-foot high chain one time and popped all the tendons in the back of my left
Oh,
wrist. It was 6 months of physical therapy and never got the dexterity back. So
yeah, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
But as the video plays, people can see that, great entrance there. There's that nice front entrance room as you walk in the front door. The great room, kitchen, dining room, high ceilings, great space. That's the central hub for the home.
Yeah, it's. I find when I'm here at the house, it's just so conducive to getting work done. That you just want to, and because the Wi-Fi is great here, right now I'm in the dining room, at the dining room table, and I have a breeze, lots of light. I can see a little bit of the game going on, and it's just a wonderful way to spend an afternoon.
Well, it's always fascinating when you look at. I love that space there. Whoop. Oh, am I getting a feedback on you now?
I don't know.
Yep, that was a feedback. That was me. Sorry about that.
Oh.
I just wanted to hear you, twice.
Yeah. I wonder why.
I know why. I pushed the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
I was just checking one of the feeds.
Got it.
Hey, if that's the biggest mistake I've made for switching a long live broadcast on software we're using for the first time, I'm pretty happy. You were talking before about how nice the place looks at night, and this, the shots that are up right now are nighttime, and it really is a relaxing space.
It's really well lit. The property itself is well lit. They've put a lot of ambient lighting in stairs, along the property borders. So it really pops when you're here in the evening. Great place to entertain, have evening parties. The owner, as we've mentioned before, is musically inclined. He's been in bands his entire life. And they would have neighborhood parties here. And they'd put a band out in the backyard and entertain their guests. And it was very popular. He said the neighbors rarely complained. They would give a little heads up a day before the party was going to happen. It would always invite them. And it's one of those neighborhoods with a lot of creative folks, where there's a lot of music playing. And so everyone has each other's back, which is terrific. I've been in neighborhoods where that wasn't the case.
That does happen.
And the police would come very early at times. But that is not an issue in this creative enclave here in Mar Vista.
Well, and this is a very, there's no shortage of entertainment people on this end of town too. So it's kind of I think people expect a little bit of fun and excitement.
Those crazy entertainment folks. Why can't they just behave?
I don't know. We were both in that business before, so did we ever behave?
I behave too often. It's my one regret.
Oh, there's the great studio space up right now, as we were talking about before. 511 square feet of creative space that's got a half bath in it, so it'd be very easy to convert to an ADU.
Yeah, curious for anyone who is watching or who might be watching this down the road, what would you do with that space? Would you roll it back the way it is and put your own musical equipment in there? We've talked many times. What's the use case? Who's likely to purchase this home? It's my belief is it's someone in the broadcast or entertainment space, someone in media. Maybe it's someone who is running a podcast. Maybe it's someone who is cutting movie trailers or an editor at an agency. Maybe it's someone who is in the broadcast space. Maybe it's someone who runs a digital agency and really needs a lot of bandwidth to transfer files back and forth. Or maybe it's someone who just wants to live out that dream of, fronting the world's greatest garage band. And you bring your folks, your friends, your other musicians up here. It can be as bare bones and grungy as you'd like, or you can record, which is one of the uses that the current seller has been doing for years. He actually utilizes as a recording space and makes a little bit of dough on the side in that capacity. In fact, when he is moving, he's going to be looking to replicate that in a more straight, traditional sense, where he's going to get a space that he can actually offer that service to his clients.
It's such a convenient spot up there too. It's being able to have that, the area, and they built, when he designed it, worked with the architect, they built it knowing it was going to be used for that. So, you go up there, that's a quiet space.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It gets a nice breezes, so it's very comfortable. We mentioned there are 4 different climate zones in the house. But in that space, you don't really. It's the rare day that you actually need to put the AC on. And he built it specifically knowing that he was going to be working full time out of that. He had been in another earlier in this home when it was the smaller configuration. He was working out of one of the bedrooms, and that doesn't work. And I know a lot of folks in the last 6 months have seen the limitations of their current residence. And they have really kind of bumped into those limitations and are finding it to be a real drag. This was built knowing that it's a full-time workspace, but when the working day is done, you shut it down, you walk down the stairs, you do your 20-yard commute, and you walk into your residence where you do not have the distraction, or you don't need to have the distraction of your work life facing you. Oh, wow, I should answer that. And it's really being accountable to yourself so that you can create this wonderful work-life balance, which I think most of us struggle with. And he's found a way to do it. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I know years ago, when I'd always had production companies on studio lots back in my production days. And when we decided to leave the LA area at the time, even though I'm back in LA now, but we moved down to Newport Beach. And one of the things that we looked for when we were doing is a space that could be converted into something like this, and having a space that really works where you can get that isolation. The particular place we had then was one of the rare places in Newport Beach that had a basement dug in underneath. We had a space that was, somewhat similar in terms, but I only had 380 feet. This one has 511. So that's, it's not only bigger, but it's also designed better than mine, because mine was, converted more from the space, where this one was designed specifically with the idea of being able to use it for that kind of a space, which is really nice. But also because it was designed for that and has that, they were thinking about the quality of sound and things like that. That's going to, if somebody does decide they want to make it into an ADU space instead, it's going to be quiet. It's going to be nice and isolated and a great place to hide away.
Yeah, I agree. I love it.
Let's see.
So how's this looking out there, folks? Do you like this technology we're utilizing? This is called
We
StreamYard.
we actually do have comments on liking the way of doing it.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you want to take? You want me to pull up the Matterport stream? If it didn't take people around that way, or do you want to?
Sure. I'm happy to get back up again. I've had my 15-minute rest period.
I figured I didn't want to worry you out too much by having you keep on moving constantly.
Let me get an almond.
Okay.
Oh, and I see we're captioned. Look at that.
Am I captioned? Did I caption you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize I'd popped that up. Well, that happens. Meant to put that on a separate screen. Okay, 2 mistakes in the in an hour of broadcasting so far. So
Yeah, we've been going for almost an hour. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It is a different way of doing things. As much as I love a traditional open house and having, what I miss about traditional open house is more than anything else, just meeting, the opportunity to meet people. That's actually one of my favorite things about being in this business is, you get into, you work with people, you get to know them, and it becomes, it becomes part of the whole deal that you get to make new friends actually through the process, because you do spend a lot of time with people. If you're doing this business right, you spend a lot of time with your clients.
Absolutely.
So you better like them.
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the things. You just make a determination. It's a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
Clients need to hold us accountable and trust us, but vice versa. I often tell my clients, you have to trust me enough to let me fail you, because without doing that, you don't really let me do my job properly. I have to tell you, this is a house that I think you would love, and you have to give me that leeway. And if it's not, then we recalibrate, we figure it out. But sometimes I know more about a property than the buyer who's been looking on Redfin or Zillow and just scrolling furiously through hundreds and hundreds of homes over a month period. Because we actually get in and look at inventory, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this live stream virtual showing today, is just giving you a sense of what the house actually feels like. Right now, I'm sitting in the living room watching what is an incredible comeback by the Rams. They're now up 32-28 with 49 seconds left.
Nice.
And they're going to win this game and go to 3-0. And I'm sitting here, and if this were my home, I might be grilling something out there on the patio. Hopefully, the dog or the kids would be playing back there.
A little side note about that back patio there too is because the home has got 2 sets of gates to get in there. That for the privacy, the dog is also safe back there, because you've got that big the other gate that can be left closed over there. If you want to give the dog the run of the whole space back there, you can.
Absolutely. So let's get up and just walk around as that victory. Oh, it's not really secure, is it? Actually, wait a minute. Let's hold on here. This might be a live. Oh, there's Arnold. Darnold. Oh, look at that. Oh, this kid's good. They were bad-mouthing Josh Allen earlier over the last 2 years, and he's actually a lot better than I think people anticipated.
Well, his yards are a lot better this year than last year. So it took a year. Sometimes it takes a little while to develop.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not an easy job.
Go all the way back to Kurt Warner. Was playing arena game and then ended up being one of the best quarterbacks ever.
So let's walk the length of the property again, shall we?
Why not?
We're going to start in the front room. And I'll actually give you a sense of what it's like to enter from the street, the infamous Walgrove. So here we are. And if you lose me, well, let's hope you won't. We have our eco-friendly turf front yard.
And I lost you. Well, that's a
Okay.
the Wi-Fi is not quite in the house, out to all the way to Walgrove, but it's there happily in the street. But you'll be back in it in just a second. I'll have your signal nice and solidly. There you go. You're coming back in the house. I think you got a signal.
Yeah, here we are. Okay. So we're walking in. This is the entryway. Engineered hardwood floors throughout. We have a very analog wood-burning fireplace. There is no gas in this fireplace, and that's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Nice little stonework.
Well, and that's another thing too, that you can't add a wood-burning fireplace anymore. So you have to be grandfathered in those areas to be able to have one.
It's a little hall closet, coat closet. This house has Ring security throughout, cameras everywhere. So there's a real sense of security here. It's a really good-sized living room. If this were your only living room, it actually would be wonderful. Guess what? It's not your only living room. It's one of three. And each of them has different uses. So once you leave that, you open up, you enter this wonderful open space where you have kitchen, really nice tile work back here for those of you who do knife work.
Just in case you want to do a remake.
It's got that wonderful triangle. Some decent counter space, and looks out into the rest of the dining and this great room. That is the second of the entertainment spaces. This one is just opens up really beautifully. High ceilings. It's a little sunken, so you take 2 steps down. It's got Dolby 5.1 embedded into the walls. There are 2 speakers out on this, the first of 2 Trex decks. So it's a wonderful space where the whole family can gather to talk about the day's triumphs and disappointments. And then we have the first of the individual rooms for privacy. So there are 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths on the in the main space. 2 of those bedrooms are here in what we call the East Wing. So this was the original master suite back in 2010 when the sellers initially purchased the home. It is now just a beautiful guest suite. Got these wonderful windows and this beautiful bamboo that travels the entire length of the property on the north side. It's got an ensuite, and the only bathtub in the house is located here. But there is one. Ethernet drops where every television is, so it's not just on Wi-Fi. You have a dedicated laundry room. Back here, you have another pretty large closet area. This is where all their cleaning products are.
They really do have a lot of storage space in this house, too.
They do, absolutely. So that one ensuite bath, here is a powder room. And then we have the second bedroom, which has been utilized for the last year as an office. But has a full closet. Does not have an ensuite here, but you have that powder room right outside it. So that is the East Wing. And we come back to the great room. And we will go to the West Wing. Oh no, the Rams are not going to win this game.
Oh no.
Unfortunate.
Shock.
Well, so here's the West Wing where we have The third bedroom. This is my favorite room in the house. It's just really calm and just staged really nicely as well. Very simple. Great bathroom. Nice tile work.
All of the bathrooms were rebuilt really nicely.
Yeah, they were. And this leads to the third of the entertainment spaces. This has been used primarily as a children's playroom. I mean, it's massive. They were doing homeschooling here. They also had some exercise equipment, some yoga works, some treadmills. It's got a lot of room. It opens up into the second of the Trex decks and windows out onto into the backyard as well. This, by adding a closet, you could actually turn this into a fifth bedroom.
And it could be an ensuite as well because of the position of the way the hallway is designed right there. The 3/4 bath is right outside the door here. You close up the door at the end of the hall right there, and this could all be one big, very large ensuite bedroom suite.
Yeah. Yeah, really high ceilings in here as well.
So it'd be very easy to make this home into a 5-bedroom plus ADU without any great construction or anything.
So I'm going to go out through this door to the second of the two decks. It's a great area to get some mid-afternoon sun. Never gets really that hot though because of this bamboo, which just grows to incredible heights. I could see a hot tub here or a fire pit or a children's treehouse or something. Playroom.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second of the decks. That's Snoop. Say hello to Snoop. Hi, Snoop.
Hi, Snoop.
And there you see that other first deck where they do a lot of grilling.
And that's also wired. I mean, not wired, but piped for gas to it. Even though that's not a gas barbecue, if someone wants to do a full built-in right there, the gas is already run.
Correct. It is it's an oversized 2-car garage. Again, another Ethernet drop. So if you're going to do exercising there, it's pretty cool. You can put your Peloton in there. You can do almost anything. There is a closet storage space underneath these stairs. So there's the stairs that lead up to the office. Underneath that is another whole area for storage. So it's really well thought out from a use case. And again, you're on Walgrove, right? But it's set back pretty far. There's the second of the two electric gates. So you are fully enclosed here. You can really rest easy knowing that your animals, your children, your grandmother who's learning how to skateboard, everybody's taken care of here. We're looking up
and then you have the good example of that because Snoop's out there and he's nice and safe in that huge backyard.
He sure is. So we're looking up into the deluxe suite. That would be the bathroom. There's the balcony to the bedroom, and we're going to go up there right now.
And that's the other point of that suite. That is the entire second floor. That may not be something that everyone realizes right away. That entire 800 and something square feet of space upstairs is all one big suite.
Yeah, some families, they want to be all on the same level. But if you've got older children or children have gone, and it's just a wonderful oasis of calm here.
And if someone wanted to do it the opposite direction, if they wanted to use one of the other two, either the front original master suite as the kind of primary bedroom area these days, or convert the one in the back, the upstairs suite could be office space or something instead if somebody wants to do their living area on the one floor. So the house has a lot of flexibility. Great high ceilings.
A lot of room. Yeah, it's beautiful. And you can look out over some of the rooftops. And it does have this balcony.
The sunset was beautiful when we were out there the other day. And a great spot to watch over. If you got kids in the house, you can watch over them from there, nice and safe.
And then we'll go into the bathroom quarters. One of the things I've remarked previous is the design feature of all the windows here. It's just really beautiful. Again, look at those tops of the bamboo. That chandelier is really nice. Windows everywhere, lots of light. And this bathroom it's serious, folks. If you're single, meet somebody.
or buy a lot more clothes to fill out two full giant walk-in closets.
Dual sinks, really nice tile work. Shower's got dual shower heads. Nice window, good tile work. One of the things actually I do like, I love the light underneath the cabinetry.
That's one of those really good details that this house has a lot of. There's a lot of really subtle things that you don't necessarily put on a list, but once you realize they're there, you're really glad they are. The way the lighting is done, the thoughtful way that the windows are placed in ways that you always can basically see out if you want to. If you want to be able to view the kids from various spaces around the house, you can. Oh, just lost your mobile feed briefly there. Nope, you're back.
That's what happens when you take a phone call. And then we've remarked about it before, but dual toilets is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that is one of those things that you just don't see. You don't get
possibilities might be for.
Oh, now I lost you again.
Well, we're back.
There you go.
So there's certain rooms that the Wi-Fi doesn't really catch. Don't go in the toilet if you want to do.
Yeah, Wi-Fi. I was gonna say people really shouldn't be using the phone in the toilet anyway. So that's fine if that's the weakest signal.
There's another use case.
Then you come nicely back down in the morning. You're greeted by this nice wide open space, and you can see how much natural light there is. And what's the final score? They go to overtime?
No, I don't know.
Oh, different game.
Yeah.
Also a tight game, though.
So there you have it, folks.
And there's Snoop again.
Hey, Snoop. And we are back to the record room. So put your comments or questions in the comment section, or give us a jingle. We'd love to tell you more about answer any questions you might have. It is really beautiful, folks. And I would encourage you to call your agent and come on by for a private showing.
That's right. If you don't have an agent, call us. I do love that room on the front of the house. It's just a nice, relaxing space. And another great example of how everything, you've got that huge central hub, but you've got all these great separated spaces all the way around the home. So you can always have privacy when you want to. You're never on top of each other unless you're deciding to be.
Someone needs to fill those wine glasses quickly.
I'll bring a bottle down.
Curious, folks, are you a nice warm fall day? Is it rosé or is it Pinot? Comments in the chats.
And I do love this back room. I mean, you've got so much space in there. Perfect opportunity to have either another office. It can be used as a family room like it is right now, and so easy to convert that space into a fifth bedroom, and it would be a full-on suite because of the positioning of the 3/4 bath right there. So, just a great option. I mean, that's what's so great about this home. It's all of these options.
Lots of possibilities.
Yeah. But they've thought out things so well up front that you really aren't having to do anything major if you do want to change things.
Everyone who's walked into this house has been surprised at the scale. It's very unassuming from the front because it still retains the bungalow feel from the street. You really don't get a sense of what's behind it. It's designed really well in that regard. So it feels very unassuming from the street. And then once you enter it, it's like, oh my gosh, it actually goes forever. It's 8,350 square feet. The house directly to the south of us is half that size. In fact, all the houses to the south are much smaller. This is one of the rare large double lots.
Well, I have actually referred to this as almost a stealth house because you can actually, no one really realizes just how much is there. It's just a phenomenal property that goes back and it's got so much privacy and so much space, but it's still so convenient for anybody, especially if someone's doing a live work situation where it's really easy to park out on Walgrove. So if it's not one of those areas where you can't have people come in if you need them to, because the parking is not a permitted parking. It's not locked down where your guests can't get in easily. And I've never had an issue getting a space. Anytime I've pulled up, it's been very easy. So it's not an overcrowded area either.
No, and actually one of the benefits of having that front really wide driveway area is that you can turn your cars around. So you don't have to back out. That's one of the biggest challenges of being on any street that has ongoing commute traffic, is that it's really hard to get out in the middle of morning rush hour traffic, right? This doesn't have that problem. You have that electric gate, but you have all this room. Actually, you can see it from here, from the street. All that room there. So once you come in, if you go all the way to the back, obviously you can turn your car around there, but there's space right there if you were parked there to turn it around.
And really, for someone who has a lot of cars, there's a lot of parking space that's in there because that huge driveway goes all the way the entire length of the home, and it's double wide all the way down. So in addition to the 2-car garage, I mean, I haven't even tried to count how many cars you could put in there if you needed to at some point, but I'd have to guess 10, 12.
Well, if you're using Hot Wheels, you can probably get about 15,000. Just saying.
That would be the half bath I think you're in right now. That's on the east wing.
That certainly would be. And
Yeah.
I just
Great.
come here for the laundry.
Yeah, nice big laundry room. Very well set.
Right off the kitchen. And it gets a little noisy.
And then back out into the very high ceiling. Great architectural details there too. That's one of the things too when you're combining, the modern expansion with some of the original classic details of the original property. You're really getting, a lot of detail and a lot of fun, space and design, and it has some character to it. Whereas so many things, these days where, you see a lot of homes just don't have those little extra touches because, it's all very, straightforward, where this has got a lot of detail that you can take that, all the way through the property, and, and a really cute dog in the middle of the room. Snoop is very friendly. We like Snoop.
He is. One of my dearest and closest friends is one of the top aerial cinematographers in the world, so I'm trying to do some of these shots for him. Take that, gyro-stabilized Mike Kellum.
And a great detail on the fireplace. And as Paul mentioned earlier, that's a wood-burning fireplace, and because that part of the home is from the original structure, you can still have that grandfathered-in wood-burning fireplace, and there it is a definite difference in how it feels to to have a nice, relaxing wood fire going at night, and you can't add them in a modern in new homes. It's a code thing, but if it's grandfathered in, you can still have one.
And it's the smell. The smell just is so beautiful. Maybe it's not good for our lungs. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but my goodness, does it smell good.
Well, it just does not work as well to roast marshmallows on a gas fire.
What are marshmallows made of? Can someone explain that to me?
Sugar,
Oof.
eggs.
Really? Look at you.
Real eggs.
You've answered that question before.
I hosted a lot of radio over the years. You get used to making up answers if you don't know them. No, it's you would have to use real eggs though, not those prop eggs that are in there for the staging.
Yeah.
But look at that high ceiling. I mean, that's what it, that's one of those things that people comment on as they walk into the house. Is it reveals if you're entertaining in this house, people come in the front door and you're in the first room and it's, welcoming and relaxing. But then as you walk in and you start heading towards the great room areas, it just gets wider and wider and opens up. And the home really does give a visual reveal as you walk in. So you feel like you're like you've entered into something really special.
I double what he said. I'm going to take one more pass up to the deluxe suite. And really high ceilings here.
Good tricky camera angle for you there.
Right. So we'll go this time to we'll start in the bathroom.
Start in the giant bathroom.
Lots of light throughout. So this deluxe suite up here is 862 square feet. It's got dual walk-in closets. It's got dual toilets. It's got dual shower heads. And of course, dual sinks. It's got a lovely design feature of subtle ambient light underneath the cabinetry. Oh.
Nice view of you.
Yeah, don't like that.
But that's another one of those, nice architectural details. You have that natural light right above the sink. Great for doing makeup, great for just seeing what you're looking like during the day, because you're getting that natural light, and because of the direction that the home is facing, because it's actually east facing on the front and west facing at the rear, that you're looking south from the bathroom. So when you look out, so the light that's coming in there is a smooth natural light all day.
It's a great bathroom for two people who have busy lives and need to create some space without having to utilize two different bathrooms. It's really wonderful in that regard. And then obviously the bedroom. It's massive, really high ceilings, lots of natural light. We've got 4 windows as well as a balcony. Gas burning fireplace, so the second fireplace. It's got its own dedicated HVAC system here, so you can create the climate that you want. In fact, there are 4 different zones in the house.
Oh, and I just got the answer to your question, Ian, that I was not correct, that marshmallows don't have eggs. There's sugar, water, gelatin, and vanilla.
Gotta love gelatin.
So I don't know if that means if someone's vegan, they can have them, depending on what the gelatin is from. So. Yeah, spin around back again for a second, Paul, so we can look at that backyard just for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because one of the things that we've talked a little bit about, but you really get the scope from up here, is just how huge this space is. When we talk about that 8,350 square foot lot, it's running deep from the main street. So you've got all of this land. So when we talk about it, when you say it's on Walgrove there, there's the street on the front, and then everything all the way back along is your land. So most of your space is actually your private lot, and it's not on the majority of the space is not on the main street, so it's very private.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then at night, that sky just becomes beautiful. You can actually see the lights for the Penmar tennis courts right back there.
Oh wow!
So that's really how close it is. And of
so
course,
that means golf and tennis is just minutes away.
Yeah, our bamboo tops are right there, and they really have a nice rustle in the late afternoon. So there you have, I think, a good sampling of what this beautiful house, we sometimes refer to it as a compound, because it really feels like there are so many different areas that you can inhabit. But it is a house. It is a residence. It's not something out of reach. It's not something that you don't deserve. And we hope you'll come in and take a look, because it shows. Listen, I think all realtors say, "Oh, you got to come in and take a look because it shows better than it looks." Sometimes photographs don't really tell you the real story, and I'm the first one to say that's not always the truth. But in this case, it really is.
Oh, it very, very much is. In fact, when Jason, the photographer, was shooting, I was, we're both old photographers, and I was looking at his equipment, and he was shooting with, a really wide lens, and it still doesn't give you the scope of how big that house feels once you go in. But it doesn't feel big and oppressive. It's just got so many great little kind of private spaces in it that you feel like you never have to find a private space, but it just feels large as soon as you walk into this central area.
You're saying that my iPhone doesn't have a wide angle lens?
I didn't think of that. Should have given you my iPhone. It's got a wider lens.
All right, I'm going to sit down again. So we're at the hour. We're 90 minutes in.
Yes, we are, and we still have a few people watching. We've had people in and out throughout the day. I see there's 4 in there right now. Feel free to make a comment if you'd like to about it, or have any questions for us. We are taking questions live, and happy to answer anything anybody wants to know. And otherwise, just feel free to have your agent call us if you would like to see the home, or reach out to us if you don't have someone representing you. But basically we're just ready to have this home move on to its next owner, because it is a wonderful place to live, and we want it to go to someone special.
Have your people call our people.
Exactly. Just like everybody used to say to us in the TV days.
So if you are going to, if you are participating in Jewish celebration, the New Year, and tonight being the night of Yom Kippur, we want to wish you an easy fast if you do that, and a wonderful New Year filled with hope and opportunity and good health, because we all need that. It's been a tough year, right?
Not the easiest of years.
Well, let's hope that with a new beginning, that it can be a new and healthy and joyous beginning for all of us.
Well, and it's, to transition into the house again. It's this is the kind of place that, one, helps you get through a year like this one, and then once you're past the less joyous parts of the year with pandemics, we're back into just a great place to live and enjoy and celebrate life.
Absolutely. This has been an interesting year. I think we all felt initially back in March that it was going to be really tough to buy or sell a home, and that first month was rough, folks. No one really knew how to go about doing this. We were obviously all a little bit shell-shocked and not prone to going outside for anything outside of what was absolutely necessary. And then, as I think all of the national and local organizations started to put together some process and procedures on how to safely have showings and to create transactions, people started to come back. And now what we've found over the last 2 months is that it's a booming market. Perhaps it's, you could define that by saying that because of low interest rates and how inexpensive money is to get at this time, a lot of people are making purchases. But I think there's also a psychological standpoint that we've been stuck inside our homes, and we've seen the limitations, and we're realizing this is probably not going to go back to what it was like back in February immediately. In fact, maybe we'll never go back to that the same way we worked. But that's okay, because we're going to find a better way to do so. And as we start to realize that my house, my current residence, may not satisfy all the things that I need from a home today. I need to have a home that has individual spaces where we can work and school and play, and areas where we can all gather together. So it certainly has been proven out in the last 2 months in this market, where we're seeing a lot of buyer activity. Well, there's not a lot of inventory out there. There's a lot of activity from the buyer side.
Well, in most areas, especially in the areas where we focus, most about Los Angeles, Orange counties, at a very rough number, inventory went down by half at one point, while the number of buyers only went down by a third. So all of a sudden, there was just not enough inventory to meet people's demand. So it became a very challenging market to find anything. And I know you've been working with clients and been dealing with multiple offer situations on a lot of houses lately. And it's a strange time.
I'm working right now with one of my buyers, and we put an offer on a home in the Highland Park area. And the agent told me yesterday she is countering 31 offers.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of crazy. No, we've had, I have a couple of different buyers right now. One of them, went out to do a drive-by last night in one of the houses, and by the time they called me to say they liked the area, it had already gone off market. So, whoops.
That's bad.
That was a little bit of an echo there. But we haven't had an echo since before we were testing, before we went live. So that's positive.
So
I was gonna say, go ahead.
here's my challenge. My phone is going to die.
Well, you know what that means. That means we will not be going live again to you walking around the home, because we won't have the phone. But I will also add a Matterport feed here, so we can, in case anyone has any questions or anything and wants to see, or if you want to take people around that way, we can guide people around what we're doing around the place and show it. Let me bring that up as one of our options things. Where'd it go? I know I've got one. I have the Matterport.
Okay.
For some reason is not popping up right away. Just a second. There we go. So in addition to our lovely streaming video here, we can also add in another screen, I think. Let's see, do I have to share? I may need to unshare that screen for a second. So let me swap us to that view so people can get a lovely view of you and I, which is, of course, also exciting. So let me stop that sharing that screen. Whoops, I just lost that one. I can only share one of these screens at a time. So we're going to go to this one, go to that tab, and we will do that one. And now we go to this, and here's our lovely walk around view of the home. Do we want to take people on a tour around the home here, or we just want to let it run with, or let the other video run?
I think I'm not going to be able to go around the house anymore. I'm just plugging in my phone to get some juice back.
Well, that's fine. Here's the front room. A nice, calm, and happy Zen space here, which is kind of a cool, just walk in as you enter. You get that beautiful feel. And we were talking a little bit before, if anyone's been on for a while with us, that the home kind of reveals as you walk in, and it just opens up. So as you come in, you have probably a high but normal ceiling. Then you walk through the kitchen into the great room area, and it just opens up completely. So you have these beautiful architectural elements up in the ceiling. That high ceiling space up there is kind of nice big vaulted ceiling area where the dining room is. Step forward into the the second den area, which is sunken. You can see steps right there. They'll take you into this big space here, and then you walk into the nice big theater room area space. I don't think with this particular one has an outdoor view, so I can't take people out onto the deck at the moment. But then you come over to, actually there's two different wings that you can take people into right here. Well, here we'll do this one. This is, as you said, the room, one of your favorite room in the home, Paul. This very quiet, kind of isolated bedroom over on this side.
Yep.
And just realized I can zoom out a little bit there. Probably don't want to go that wide because it kind of distorts from the fact that because it's a 3D camera. And nicely done bathroom in here. See the beautiful tile work they did when they rebuilt this place. And you can head off over on this side. The third large den area, currently being used both as kind of the kids' den and schoolroom. And also what's great about this space is if you decide you need a fifth bedroom, this room converts to a fifth bedroom very easily. And because of the position of this additional 3/4 bath, you can easily just put a door right here in the space where I'm kind of wiggling the little circle, close this off, and you have another full ensuite bedroom. So you would actually have 3 en-suites and 2 other bedrooms. That's right. No, we'd actually have 4 en-suites and 1 bedroom on the outside. Then you go upstairs to the beautiful deluxe suite upstairs. The entire floor is the suite, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And you've got just phenomenal space here. Take you wide there so you can kind of see all of this room. East facing, so you get the morning light coming in the inside in those windows. So the morning light, as I point in the right direction there of where that is, the windows behind you, which is very cool. So you're basically, as an old photographer and director, I get the geeky about the way light hits in the mornings. So in the morning, you're getting the reflected light off the wall here. So it's calm as you wake up at the beginning of the day. And you come over by the windows here and you see you've got the west facing sunset back over there. And that's kind of the main part of the house here. Let me bounce on down. Let me shift this for a second here while I kind of lost my control. There we go. Let me pop us back up here for a second. I'll take us back downstairs. And then we can just switch back out, let the video run out, finish out the time for anybody who is coming in later to the broadcast. But let me also, as long as we're here, let's swap back to this space now that we're back in the kitchen area in the great room. The east wing is just off the kitchen direction here. This was part of the original home. One of the bedrooms, this is the non-ensuite, if we say it that way, currently being used as an office. The original primary suite at the front of the house before the addition. And that's out on the front here. And as Paul mentioned before, all dual pane mill guard windows, so it's quiet. You do not hear Walgrove when you're in that room. And always a little tricky in the wide angle lens here, but you see we've got another ensuite bathroom there. And laundry room up here. And you're back out in the main room.
Nice.
So I think we both kind of love this house, Paul.
I do. It's a great house. And I encourage you to book some time and set up a private showing with us. We would love to have you come in and take a look and really experience what this home has to offer. So get in touch with us directly by phone or by email, or reach out to your agent and have them work with us to schedule a private showing. It's very easy to show. We are here and conducting all showings. It's not on Lockbox or Supra, but we are available and would love to get you in as soon as possible.
I think another thing we should point out too is it is one of the lowest per square foot homes in the area. For the amount of space you get, it's quite the deal, and definitely worth checking out to be able to get this much space on the west side of LA in a prime area that close to the ocean, with all the amenities around you of Venice, Mar Vista, Santa Monica. Finding that much space for this price is not the easiest thing in the world.
Absolutely. It actually, at this point right now, it is the most value per square foot in 90066, which is something to say.
And especially when you look at the quality of the construction, because everything was done so well. And also, for anyone who's would be thinking of making offers, one of the things too is it's already been the sellers had it fully inspected and actually answered pretty much everything that came up on the inspection to make sure everything was ready to go. So this house, if somebody is needs to go needs something move-in ready and a great phenomenal property to move into, this one's ready to go. They've already have another place to go, so you can come in where they'll be very easy to make this an easy move.
Yeah, as Victor alluded to, this seller has been on the buyer's side, understands the challenges that you have when you find something you love, but work needs to be done to it, and you can't move in right away. They made a commitment to leave this house in better shape than they received it. So as we know that the bulk of this home was remodeled and a huge addition was done in 2018. It is since then it's been we had a pre-inspection last month, and the minor things, plumbing, electrical, were done. Everything has been taken care of. So it's not that we don't encourage you to do your own home inspections, because I would never
think everyone should.
Yeah, everyone should. But we feel very confident that what we are going to turn over to a buyer is really clean and will allow you to move in and not have to do anything. Perhaps you want to do some minor painting if you would like to, freshen up that kitchen. That obviously is something that is a choice. But anything from a functional standpoint, everything is really clean.
And every time I see the shot of the little deck out there in between the home and the garage office space, and you get that green with the whole wall of bamboo behind you, and I just always get relaxed. It's just that kind of a space.
Yeah, I agree. I've come out here, the first few weeks when we were supervising some of the work. I would just come out there and sit on that deck and answer some emails and make some phone calls, and it's very conducive to that.
And there we are. That's the other thing too. As the video kind of loops here, just how convenient you are to the ocean. I mean, everything is right there, within minutes. There's really nothing that you need that you can't get within 10 minutes of this home. You've got between easy to the freeway, easy to restaurants, everything you want for the lifestyle. Depending on where you are in the marina, if you have a boat, you can be there in 10, 15 minutes. It's just a hard spot to be.
Yeah, it is really lovely in that regard. There's obviously we've been sheltering for quite a while, but in this neighborhood, a number of restaurants have opened up, sidewalk dining, obviously takeout. But Superba is just around the corner, and they've done a fantastic job in opening up their restaurant for indoor dining as well. Actually, not inside the structure, but they've created a wonderful patio area and in the parking lot. So, and a number of restaurants in the area have done the same.
And as we're getting towards our wrapping up time here, we're just sort of letting the video play out in case anybody has any questions about the property. But this is just one of those times when, during a pandemic, it's, we can't just have open houses like we normally would, which we miss because we'd love to be able to have people come in and we could meet and chat with everybody. But, the opportunity is still there to see the home. And we are kind of enjoying being able to do it live and let everybody see just what a special property this is. And if this is something, as you're looking at it and you think this is a home that would appeal to me and would work for my life, you can easily give Paul a call, give me a call, or give your agent a call if you have an agent at the moment. So that would be, it's definitely the kind of property that you don't necessarily realize is as great as it is. And I think that it's well worth coming and taking a look at. And if you want to see more detail, the video things that we have playing right now, the Matterport cameras, all of the footage, floor plans, everything you need to pretty much get a good overall feel for the home are all at 1427walgrove.com. So that makes it extremely easy to find it online right now. It's just 1427walgrove.com. And
all right,
get a feel for it all.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. We really appreciate you taking the time to interact with us and to take a look at this beautiful home. We would encourage you to come in at your convenience. We are very accessible. Showings can be done pretty much morning, afternoon, or evening. So feel free to reach out. Emails and phone numbers are in the description of whether you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube or on LinkedIn. And we would love to talk.
Anytime. Well, Paul and I do like to talk. You can tell that because we've just been doing this for 2 straight hours without stopping. So obviously we like to talk.
All right, folks. Have a great end of your Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for visiting, everybody. We'll just let the video scroll for the last few minutes and enjoy.